attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and I do believe that I might be able to release 2 videos tonight. Now, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, in this series, I believe that we had 2 weeks before UA started. At least their entrance exams. Meanwhile, you do have Izuku Midoriya and Himiko Toga. Both of these two, they themselves, well, Midoriya, with everything he's been going through, he's just simply trying to find that one place, that one spot. Things bore him easily, and he thought that he can get a bit of excitement. Find a way to overcome what he is, who he is, how he's wired and how he's programmed. Or simply just die. Midoriya didn't care anymore. It just became boring. And in his little experiment, he forcibly awakened a quirk. Now, Midoriya, he somewhat understands his quirk ability. His quirk is a mix of his mother and his father's. He's able to tell what a person is thinking about whenever he looks at them, and create illusions. Mix these two together, and what do you get? Midoriya, he can create illusions based on some things people have seen before. As long as they do have a basic concept of what Midoriya has in his hands, or does at least know the person has seen before, he can do it. Now, with that being said, there are other traits to his quirk, but he has barely discovered this today, as soon as it awakened. Now, with that being said, over the next week, Midoriya and Toga begin to mess around with his quirk. And Midoriya, he himself really has not been paying attention to what he's been doing. He's been having so much fun. Currently, right now, they are in a very big park. And you do have somebody running. They're running because of what's behind them. As soon as they run underneath a bridge and run out, there is the moonlight. As soon as that happens, there is a monster chasing them. The person, they have a wound in their shoulder, and a gash in their head. And the monster somewhat does try to step out, at least move forwards. A giant palm being seen, as it does slowly back away, before the person turns back in front of them and keeps running. They have to get away. They have to simply just get out of here. Call somebody. These people are crazy. They are the monsters. They are the serial killers, right? This can't be real. None of this makes sense. Now, Midoriya is using his quirk, as he is on the bridge above. Now, with that being said, Midoriya just creates more illusions. Creates them directly in front of the person. That being where they actually do hear something in front of them and go to stop, seeing glowing eyes peer out from the path in front of them, before they hear monstrous roars. and they do turn around, trying to simply just run off, trying to run back in that direction. However, there is Midoriya. He is walking forwards, walking towards them from where the person is running. They appear to be running directly at him. And as Midoriya is staying there, he's just telling them, you really thought you could escape? It's not that easy. You really don't understand me, do you? The person just running more. They're going to tackle him and try and take him out, while he is alone. If they can do that, they can at least probably get this kid's ID, something. Find out who he is and take him to the police. Now, as the person does reach out for Midori to grab him, this is whenever they phase right through him and hit the ground, confused. That being where Midoriya does actually walk forwards once again, except he's all around this person, crowding around them and every one of them around him bend down, all saying in unison that that was really dumb and that was really stupid. You really should make sure you know what you're doing. Now, the person, they just freak out. Each one of these illusions pulling out knives and aiming them all in, going to try and poke at the person. The person freaking out before swatting away the illusions. And then there are two left. The person getting on their feet and running over to try and swat this one away. However, as soon as their hand does touch this one's shoulder, their hand stops. That being where they freeze, confused for a second as they go backing up, realizing that the other one is an illusion. They go to turn around, watching as this one has their knife outwards with a knife, their hand outwards with a knife to the right, and they do go to try and run past them. That being where Midoriya does actually try and swipe upwards and slash at them. The person bringing up their hand out of pure reflex, not even thinking about it for a second. This being where Midoriya, his knife cuts into the person's arm as he slides it downwards. The person beginning to scream out in pain, before falling onto the ground for a second, confused and shocked. What the hell? I didn't understand. Your quirk. You were... How... How did you do that? Oh, my quirk. Well, you see, I'm not even too sure. I'm still getting the gist of it. But my friend here, her quirk is easier. Toga, somewhat turning her body into that clay-like structure. I don't remember what it was exactly. Going on to state that it's fairly simple. She can copy anyone as long as she has their blood. And Midoriya gives up blood willingly. So she doesn't have to try and stab or slash at him, sadly. Yeah, even then. Toga, what do you think we should do with him? He's already seen our faces, especially mine. So we can't just let him go. Maybe. Ooh, how about you just sick the hounds on him? Sick the hounds on him, what do you mean? Well... It sounds stupid, but dogs, they would work. Really? I don't think so. How about we just... Well... Wait a minute. I have a better idea. As the person watches Midoriya smile. That being where Midoriya simply just takes a step forwards before bringing his left leg upwards and smashing it down onto their kneecap. the person screaming out in pain as Midoriya covers their mouth and tells them to simply stop. Before he does actually pick them up and throw them over his shoulder. The person trying to fight back and get Midoriya away from them. However, Toga responds simply by jabbing a knife down into the person's arm after they brought it up, and tell them that they will do that again if they try. As Midoriya and her do walk off with this person, they begin to walk down the path and start a conversation. They've been having fun, yeah, but what about the future? What are they going to do next? I don't know. Let's see. I could try. Nah. I was gonna say I could probably try doing a hero villain role thing. I could pretend to be a hero and actually be a villain at the same time. Oh, it's the illusions hero. He's going after that quirkless villain. Something like that. It would be somewhat of a cool idea, though. Then again, it would get boring pretty fast. Oh, the villain always escapes. The villain's doing this, the villain's doing that. How do they get ahead of you, Mr. Hero? They're simply just a man. You see what I mean? Yeah, but I mean something else, right? I don't know. I don't really see very much of a future for myself. Anyways, I think we're here. Midoriya walking over and simply just putting the person off of his shoulder. And the person does actually look up to see a well, confused as to what Midoriya is about to do for seconds, quickly putting two and two together. Midoriya broke their kneecap for a reason. It's going to be hard to climb out of a well whenever you can't use your legs. And they do actually try and beg Midoriya, try and convince him otherwise. As Toga, she brings her knife up and just stabs him down into the other leg, pulling it out and doing it again and again and again. Before Midoriya and her just chuck the person down. And as they eventually hit the water, you do have what's going on. Someone has been watching them from afar. And it wasn't hard to figure this all out. Midoriya and Toga. They do sometimes stay around their home area. Most of the time, however, they would go out. However, with the string of murders in this area currently, there was a small chance it could be connected. So, All for One set out to find out what is going on. He sent out Karagiri and Shigaraki. As these two do come walking out of a shadow. And Midoriya does actually see them, bringing up his knife and simply just asking, "Who are you?" "Oh, me. Don't worry about it. However, you're a bit more tricky to place. I'd say that you're, what, a kid? Don't worry about it." Now, Midoriya is saying, as Shigaraki does hear something behind him. There's Midoriya, standing there with a knife. Shigaraki going to spin around and try to attack. As soon as he does, that Midoriya takes a step backwards. They don't know what this guy's quirk is, plus they just wanted to get him to look away. As soon as Kirigiri did turn around to try and protect Shigaraki, Midoriya, not only did he rush forwards and Toga take some blood, But, well, the puppet show started. Midoriya created different animals in front of him, and different people, including a particular somebody. From looking at this guy, he can see a woman with gloves and a cape. And from looking at this other guy, he actually does see, well, someone he doesn't know. Someone with cloudy hair. Now, as soon as these two do turn around and see this, both of them are somewhat confused. Shigaraki, shocked to see his grandmother. Karagiri, shocked to see himself. Or at least the human he used to be, the man he once was. Along with a pack of wild animals. Now, along with that, there are the clones. This being where Shigaraki somewhat does try and put his words together, stumbling over all of them. Karagiri trying to place what he's trying to say. Him somewhat getting some words out. Our boss still staring at himself. Until all for one, he eventually does have to make his presence known to all of them, informing them that if they wanted a job done right, you have to do it yourself. All for one floating in the air, simply just stating that, hello, young man. You. I don't know you. Yes, you do not. However, we are aware of who you are. You are the murderer that's been around here for a very long time. Possibly. Was it to you, old man? Well, I would say that I've been a bit of a proposition for you. However, that is odd. What seems to be your quirk? I'm not telling you anything about my quirk. In fact, even it's new to me. Interesting. I would like to hear more. Let us discuss things. You can explain why they are here. Well, I can already tell that you're not heroes. That guy looks like a walking circus. That guy, he looks like not only like a bartender, but like he goes to Hot Topic way too often. And then there's you. Good lord, looking at you is ugly. And traumatizing. Well, are you done with your insults, young man? No, not yet. I still have a few earned me. In fact, I could get them out now, but I'm gonna save them. But what do you want? Can't you see that we're trying to entertain ourselves? Oh no, I can see that clearly. However, I thought you would like to go up in the world. Well, let me put it like this. You're a serial killer. You're a street-level villain. Hell, any brave kid with a strong quirk trying to act tough and huge could take you out. That's it. So, how about we fix that problem? I'm pretty sure, if I'm guessing your quirk correctly, you might be able to already tell what I can do. Correct. Somewhat. Ah, well now. I am over 200 years old, and I am the current enemy of All Might. Interesting. Now you have my attention. Tell me, has he ever tried to kill you? Multiple times. In fact, he thinks he's already succeeded. That is the reason for this. Now, Like I said, shall we talk business? Go ahead. In fact, I am more curious now. Toga tried to slip in a few words. She's not really able to say anything, other than somewhat be excited. Now, as they step through the portal, they arrive at a bar. Midoriya called it. And well, this is quite interesting. Apparently, after a bit of time, there is what this man says he is capable of, giving and taking quirks. He gave his brother a quirk, and apparently his own quirk seemed to mix with it. After that happened, that is how you have All Might. Eventually, Nana Shimura, the woman he created back at the park, was a successor to the quirk. Then, after her, it was All Might. Then, after All Might, well, that is just it. They need to find his successor and kill them. If they can kill the successor and take down All Might, they are going to end the line of these users. That quirk will be no more. Now, with that being said, this is whenever Midoriya actually does begin to ask All For One about quirks, asking him if he knows any that would be useful. All For One simply just listing off some very strong quirks. Super strength, super speed, other things like that. Asking Midoriya if he does want a quirk, is that what he's asking? Well, somewhat like that. There are a few quirks I can think of myself. I'm a bit of a fanboy sometimes. Mostly aside from thinking about how to kill somebody, I do at least keep notes on a few people. Sometimes I would think about what I could do with someone's quirk. Best Genus quirk. What I could do. Puppet Master. Control someone's muscle fibers. Puppeteer them. If I wanted to just have them explode. It'd be amazing. Interesting. Gory, violent, and the bone shrapnel you would send everywhere could kill people. You have a very graphic imagination, child. Why, yes, I do. It's what makes me special. Alrighty, well, name a quirk, and I can give it to you. Let me think about that. Besides, if we're gonna be joining you, I do at least want to know, what's your goal? Your angle? Killing All Might, that's it? What are you talking about? Well, from what I can gather, you're very straightforward. Kill All Might, take over the worlds. A two-step process. Just because you kill All Might doesn't mean people will not rally behind his name, his symbol. The symbol of peace. Killing All Might won't solve your problems. Midoriya says, looking up at his knife, saying that they will just make your problems worse and worse. People will see him as a symbol, and they will stand for him. Whenever his body gives out, there will be people there to hold him up. That's just it. You're just going to make him a martyr. So, he has a better plan. And as long as he does go with it, it could be better. And actually work. Like you want it to. Now, with that being said, eventually Midoriya and Toga do leave. Being dropped off respectfully, at their individual houses with a portal. Midoriya is sneaking into his room, while Toga does sneak into her own. Midoriya did get a phone number, and told that give this number a call whenever Midoriya does want to talk a little bit more, and that if he does still want that offer on the table, then it will at least give him a bit more insight about who the boy is. In reality, All For One offered this quirk to Midoriya because it might be an opportunity. He could see exactly what type of quirk this young boy has. He still has barely gotten his name. Researching him and getting his file will take a second. However, simply just taking and using the strange quirk the boy has could be very enticing. The boy already seemed to be tactical and think outside of the box. No, All For One was actually a bit more impressed by that. And the fact that this boy is already a ruthless killer. Clearly tactical, and from what he can at least tell, somewhat merciless. So, this boy will make a fine addition to the League of Villains. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.